beautiful noodles. I hope you have had a fantastic first week of 2023. It's me, Nikki, aka Nikki Noodle, and today is Sim Sunday. So today I'm going to be furnishing the Game of Life house that I built a few videos back. If you missed it, I will have it linked and popping up on the screen now. And we're gonna jump into it and furnish this bad boy out. But first I wanted to show you the sim I made to live in this house. Her name is Annabeth Holmes. I talked a little bit about the kind of sim I envisioned living in this house when I built it, but if you don't remember or you didn't see it, my vision for this sim is basically the old lady from Aristocats, just a very rich, proper, but very eccentric old lady. And of course she's gonna have a cat, so I put some cat supplies in here. And keeping her in mind, we're gonna go ahead and start furnishing this. I already worked out the floor plan off screen because I just knew it was gonna be a struggle and I didn't really want to film all of that for you all. But basically downstairs we're gonna have kitchen, dining room, and a bathroom, as well as an office at the front of the house and the living room at the back. Upstairs is going to be the bedroom, a nice walk-in closet hallway into the big bathroom. So starting off here, I decided to just put the flooring down in every room and kind of get a vision of what that was going to look like. I decided to just go with basic wood floors throughout most of it, but I used the fancy pink marble in the kitchen and some nice fancy looking tile in the bathrooms as well, and a nice pink shag carpet in the bedrooms. And I also used the same bathroom tile in that little nook in the kitchen here. I think that rounded wall is just the perfect place for a nice round table and make it like a little breakfast nook. So that's my plan. I did struggle a little bit with the layout of the kitchen just because it is pretty long of a room, and the archway is kind of right in the middle of it, so I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, but I ended up really liking how it turned out. I think it flows pretty smoothly, and using the cabinets on both sides of the archway I think really helped tie the room together and make it look not quite as long and like empty space. And so now working on the breakfast nook, I just decided to use the laundry day round table. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but we are very limited on round tables in The Sims, especially round tables that are big enough to fit in that space. And I just used lots of colorful chairs to really bring out the eccentricity of Annabeth. And even though I do use quite a few colors, especially in the kitchen here, the main focus, the main color of this house is going to be pink. I used some light blue accents in the kitchen especially, and the bathrooms, you saw the tiles are like black, white, and blue, but I really tried to keep the pink as the center of this house because looking at the exterior, clearly this woman loves pink, and the inside would be no less pink than the outside in my opinion. I did add some decorations into the kitchen and try to make it look at least a little bit lived in and a little bit cluttered. Even though Annabeth is very proper, I do think that she is a collector. I think she loves things, and I think her house would be a little bit cluttered. Not messy, but definitely cluttered with her collections and things she's gathered from her travels around the world and stuff like that. So I did try to add in a decent amount of decoration. You all know I have very little patience for decorating in The Sims, especially later on in builds. And this whole build, just the decorating, took me about 2.5 hours. So it was a long haul, and I did it all in one sitting. So I did get a little bit impatient towards the end, but I think I did okay with decorating decently throughout the whole build. And I did also make sure to not use any custom content while decorating this one. It was a little bit difficult because there's lots of like little decorative pieces that I like wanted to use, especially in the kitchen, because I have the kitchen pack by Delicacy and Little Dicka, so there were lots of little like decorative bottles and things like that I was like, oh, if only I could just put these on these shelves. But I did not, so that you all could hopefully download it. I feel like I've used quite a bit of custom content in my builds, which is crazy because I don't even think of myself as a big custom content user, especially in builds. Like, I have quite a bit of custom content CAS stuff that I use all the time. But when I think about my builds, I'm like, oh no, I don't use custom content. And then when I try to consciously not use it, I'm like, oh wow, I do use a ton of custom content. There's like certain rugs. I pretty much always use custom content rugs now, because there's just a lot more size options and design options in the custom content ones I have than the ones in game. There's tons of custom content wallpaper that I love to use, especially the custom content ones I have that are like monochrome paneling, that I really wanted to use those in like a pink swatch. In the hallway, you'll see I use the in-game ones with like the panels, and it's just not the same as the custom content ones. But all that to say, I did not use any custom content in this. Like I said, though, there are quite a few packs that I use. So that'll, of course, be listed in the gallery, which ones I use, because I don't even know off the top of my head which ones. I know, like, lots of cottage living, I think, lots of dream home decorator, but I'm not sure exactly how much of each pack, but that'll all be on the gallery, so if it's missing anything, you can always replace it. And also, if you do download this and want to place it, make sure to have bb.moveobjects on, because I did use that cheat when decorating this. And my EA for the gallery is nikkinoodlegames. It's not gaming, it's games. So if you're interested, it will be there. That will also be in the description of this video. So if you don't remember, it'll be down there. And now getting into the dining room here, I think this turns out so good. I decided to use the Decor to the Max wallpaper. I think I used every wallpaper from that kit somewhere in this build, because that was just the perfect kit for this build, honestly. And you can see right now I have lots of like greens and yellow accents in here. I was trying out like using lots of different colors, especially with this wallpaper that has the greens and yellows in it. But in the end, I do decide to stick with the pink. I think that's the important thing in this build, is the pink. And so I leave the wallpaper because I think the pink flowers still fit pretty perfectly, but I do change the chairs and the rug to be more pink, because we can never have too much pink in this build, guys. Come on, this is the pink house. And let me just say, you may have picked up on it a little bit from decorating the kitchen and now the dining room, but working with these curved walls was such a pain in the butt. It was ridiculous. I couldn't zoom into where I wanted to, because it kept wanting to go into the curved walls, and things were trying to like snap to the curved walls above the dining room, like the second floor curved walls. It was just ridiculous, and it was a pain. And then upstairs, if you notice, I don't use the curved wall parts at all. One of the towers is just not connected to the house, so I wasn't ever going to use that one anyway. But the other one, it is connected to the house, and I really wanted to use that as like a bathroom upstairs. I wanted that to be the bathroom space, and I was actually going to put like the bedroom and the office upstairs. But for some reason, it would not let me connect the walls to the square room to the curved walls. I don't know what it was. I tried deleting half of the curved walls and then connecting it. I tried everything, guys, and it just would not work. Every time I did it, it would not work as a room, or it just wouldn't let me connect the walls at all, and it was so frustrating. And so the upstairs is actually way smaller than I was anticipating it being. But it worked out fine. I just moved the office downstairs and created the upstairs walk-in closet into the bathroom area, which I think turns out really good. But yeah, for some reason, those curved walls were just absolutely awful to work with. Now that that rant is over and we're pretty much done with the bathroom, it's a basic bathroom. It's got laundry stuff in there, so it's bathroom and laundry room. I honestly don't know if that's like a feasible thing to do. I don't know if you're supposed to have your laundry stuff in with your bathroom. I don't see why you couldn't. But you know what? It's The Sims, so I really didn't care anyway. And I also have the cat box in there, and I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to be in there either, like with laundry stuff. But oh well, I'm sure it's fine. It's fine for The Sims anyway. But this is just our basic bathroom, pink and blue like everything else, and now we're going to start working on the living room. So I added this wall onto the stairs because I was like, this is a perfect spot for a fireplace, and we chose this nice fancy pink one. And just a heads up for everybody, this is my favorite room of this house. I think this room, more than any other room in this house, embodies exactly what I was going for with this sim and with this build. I tend to, when I'm decorating builds, especially if they take a long time, I kind of lose the vision that I had. So I'll a lot of times start out very strong in a certain style and then kind of lose it as we go through, and it's kind of more of a loose interpretation of the style. I do that with Create a Sim too. It's really bad. I'll start the everyday look and be like, okay, this sim is gonna be this type of person, and then we get to the end and it's like, it kind of looks like every other sim I make, but that's besides the point. This living room turns out so fun. It's all pink, it's eclectic, it's crazy, it's got patterns. It's my dream space for this house. I think this room is like exactly what you would picture looking in the outside of this house. I also didn't include a TV because I think Annabeth is a little more old-fashioned. Maybe she even lives in an older time period. So I didn't include a TV. She does have a computer in the office because I envision her being like a writer, like a famous author, maybe like a mystery novelist. So she does have a computer, but I use the cottage living one that looks like a typewriter. So in my mind, it's a typewriter. So this is like a little more of like an old-fashioned, but kind of modern. Like it would be probably modern if this was in like the 50s. I don't know. Listen, I don't know anything about like design trends or styles through the ages. So I'm literally talking about something I have no idea about. But that's just what I picture. I'm just going to add in some more fun decor pieces to this room, and it's pretty much done. There's some more decorations that need to be added, but it's almost complete at this point. Here's the paneling that I talked about earlier that I used in the hallways. And then I just go in with a plain pink for the stairwell because I was like, if that was real like paneling, that'd be very difficult to do on those stairs. And then I use the fun tiger wallpaper in the living room. I wasn't sure if that was going to be too much, but I love it. So, and we're just adding some final decorations, some pet treats and stuff like that. I have a bone to pick with The Sims because why are both versions of the pet treats for dogs? They have bones on them, and the descriptions are very much about dogs. One of them says like, for your mangy mutt, and like the other one says something about dogs. Where are the cat treats? Because cats deserve treats too, Sims. But anyway, I'm just adding in final decorations. This room I think is the most cluttered, which I think would track because I feel like Annabeth, somebody who is a collector, who is eccentric, she would put most of her things in the living room where the most people would see them. And, you know, if people ask about them, she could tell them stories about her life, stuff like that. I don't think she'd have them all hidden away in her bedroom. Maybe some in her office as like inspiration for her writing. But I think it tracks that it's mostly in the living room. And now, speaking of the office, we are going to work on that now. And in here, it's still very much a pink theme, but I'm also tying in a lot of the dark wood tones that we have throughout the house. And pink is more of an accent in this one, I'd say. It's a nice, dark, cozy feeling room. Definitely somewhere where she could write her mysteries and be inspired. And I love this chaise lounger that's in the office. That's like the exact thing that I wanted. The pink is a little bit off from what I would have liked. It doesn't match quite as well with the other pink in the room, but I was willing to make that sacrifice because that is exactly the type of couch I wanted to have right there. That is the exact vibe of this house. And I'm once again using another Decor to the Max wallpaper, of course, because it is just perfect. And just adding in a few decorations. The office, it really isn't that cluttered. I do add in a cat bed because where Annabeth is, her cats would be, I swear. And I think these curtains worked out very well to create a lot of drama in the room, but also make it like a nice cozy space. And over here in this stairwell, I'm just adding a few little pictures in there, and then a plant, and this nook right here in the stairs was absolutely perfect for this record player. I just pictured that scene in Aristocats where what was her name? I don't even remember her name. Or did they just call her like Madame? Anyway, where she was dancing with the old man lawyer guy with the gramophone. That's what I picture when I put that record player in there. And now the final little area that needs worked on downstairs is the entryway, and I actually really love making entryways in The Sims. I think it's just so fun for some reason. They all kind of look the same. They have the same formula in terms of what items I need to use, but I went ahead and used the interior decorator like cubby system, even though I don't think this fits the vibe of the house very well. It's like the type of furniture piece that I wanted. I wanted that cubby area to hang clothes and then also put shoes all in one rather than having a separate coat rack and shoe rack. So I counted my losses on the design style and focused on the functionality instead. And then a little bench to sit and put your shoes on, of course, as well as a mirror. I always like to add a mirror by the door in case my Sims want to make sure they look okay before they head out. And just adding in some artwork, some nice lighting, and then a rug to serve as a welcome mat. That certainly doesn't look like a welcome mat, but I think it's fun. And with that, the downstairs is done. Moving on upstairs, which is basically only 2 rooms, so it really didn't take that long. I did just continue the paneling wallpaper for the landing up here, as well as the wood floors, and I'm just going to add in just a plant on this landing. I really didn't know what else to do with it, but I was like, this woman loves plants. She's got plants everywhere, so I think that's fitting. And then in the bedroom now, I went for kind of like it's like a French royalty vibe almost, which I think still fits in with Aristocats. And I used the Desert Luxe curtains. I use these all the time now because they are just gorgeous, and they come in sizes for all wall heights, which is perfect because this second level is a taller wall height. And adding in a clock above the bed, and then over here I decided to add a fireplace. And working on the bedroom layout was a little bit of a struggle because I wanted to have chairs around the fireplace, and it really didn't work with the bed being in that location. And I moved the bed to the other wall to see if it would work better, but that spot on that wall is just perfect for the bed. I mean, it just, right between the windows, the clock fits perfectly. It just looks stunning. And so I just put the chairs on the other side of the bed and had a seating area over there. And then I used these plant end tables because I thought they looked so fun and quirky. Adding in some lighting and then another mirror over the fireplace. I just think that looks beautiful. I think mirrors over fireplaces look just stunning. Adding a cat bed over there by the fire in case our little kitty gets cold. And then adding in another like mini cat tower. I did take one of the chairs out in order to make the cat tower fit, but you know what? This woman lives alone. She doesn't need 2 chairs. She just needs her 1 chair and her cat tower. And with the bedroom, the wallpaper is a little bit more muted compared to the rest of the house, but I still think it looks stunning. It's such a pretty pattern. And of course pink, and then adding in the Desert Luxe bars, which I can never find to make the curtains look complete. And then this little walkway into the bathroom I thought was a perfect spot for like a walk-in closet that goes straight into the bathroom. It is a little bit small. I would have loved it to be like 1 tile wider, but everything fits and she can walk through there. I did play test that because I was a little bit nervous. So hopefully if you download this, everything in the house is usable because I did try to play test everything. I know I had to fix the bedside tables because where they were, the bed wasn't usable, so I did have to scooch them a little bit. But everything should be working now. And for this closet here, just putting in the basics, clothes, shoes, some boxes up there, and a basket with like sheets in it is what I always imagine that to be. And then I'm going to put a nice big mirror on the other wall there. And then we're going to start working on the bathroom. And I decided, since this bathroom is pretty long, this end over here was going to be like a vanity so that when she gets up in the morning, she can go straight through the closet and pick out her clothes and then sit down and do her makeup and stuff like that right here. It's all very easy access without being in her actual bedroom. And then once again, this room is pretty long, so doing the layout was a little bit of a struggle. I wasn't sure which wall to put the sink on and then the toilet, and then I went with this beautiful clawfoot bathtub that is perfect for her. I didn't put in a shower because I just think the tub is perfect. I don't think she would use a shower. But it was a little bit of a struggle to figure out where to put everything to make it flow nicely, but also work in terms of like for example, I didn't want to put the bathtub directly across from the mirror because I was like, me personally, I would be uncomfortable staring at myself in the mirror taking a bath. I don't know how everyone else feels, but was my thought process. So I did have to think about the floor plan a little bit. But it ended up coming together really nicely, I think. I used this divider to kind of separate the vanity area from the actual like bathroom, and then just put the bathtub up against that and sink and toilet on the other wall, and I think it works really well actually and looks really good. And then just doing minimal decorations in here, adding in some more of like toothbrushes and stuff, since this would be the bathroom that she uses to do all of that stuff, as opposed to the downstairs bathroom. Adding in some soaps, some towels, things like that. But that is the build pretty much done, other than just a few decorations. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing and joining my community of noodles. I do lots of Sims content. I'm thinking of doing Sim Sunday probably every week, maybe not every week, and then hopefully get on my new schedule of doing 2 videos a week, so another one should be coming out either Thursday or Friday, I think. Be on the lookout for that. As I said, this house will be available on the gallery. My ID is nikkinoodlegames. That will be in the description, as well as all of my other socials. I do lots of other gaming content on TikTok that I don't show here. So if you're interested in that, you can give me a follow. It's Nikki Noodle Gaming over there. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who is subscribed, who watches these videos. It means the world to me. And with all that being said, I will see you next time. Bye, guys!